name is Bjorn Halvorsen, B-J-O-R-N, Halvorsen, which is son of Halvor, and I'm part Norwegian and Spanish and French and a lot of other things. But anyway, I've had trouble with my central nervous system for a long time, and I got a lot of lesions on the brain show up in an MRI, covered on both sides in the frontal lobe, and all that, which I take with a grain of salt, but you can see them, and I certainly can experience them. So anyway, I'd heard of this Terry Kent doing this process, and I figured it was probably a ripoff of some kind. Most things are. So, but I thought, well, I'd try it. And my wife came over with me, and after the original interview and sort of evaluation, my wife was very impressed and kept pointing out the things that it had shown up, and it turned up from the little test. So I did a series of 10 treatments. And for a while, I felt at the beginning a definite, after a few treatments, elevation of my state of mind, I guess, in terms of basic sort of the level that I seemed to naturally fall into was a little better than it had been, as if I'd been, which I guess I had been, chronically depressed and gotten so used to it that you think it's natural. So anyway, in other words, it was normal for me at that time. What I would now generalize as my upper body seemed to be more affected, along with my state of, my basic level of cheerfulness or optimism and inclination to regard things, you know, with expecting things to turn out better. So anyway, and then I thought, well, you know, I should try playing the guitar again. And like the joke about the person in the operation, you know, I never did play the guitar very well, so it isn't like I got, you know, expected to get much better or worse or anything. But I could play somewhat, and I could make chords and so on. And for years I haven't been able to do that. When I would try it, it'd be very frustrating because I couldn't get my left hand to make the chords, and I couldn't tell where my fingers were. And I checked this afternoon, which is another probably a year later, and I still can, much better than I did for years. So I could actually make chords, and they come out right. And that's quite amazing. So it seems like my upper body, or the part of my brain that tells my upper body what to do, does work distinctly better now, and just as well as it did a year or so. And I'm actually I still move pianos, oddly enough, and I've moved a bunch in the last year. And I do that really well, in spite of everything. And I attribute it to the treatments. And most of all, I suppose, I would say there's a somewhat elevated level of cheerfulness and expectation from life and good temperedness.